Spoiler alert! The following article contains spoilers from the Chicago Fire Season 13 finale. It had to end this way. Following the events of the Chicago Fire Season 13 finale, Firehouse 51 is going through some changes, but many things are remaining the same. The 13th season of the NBC procedural drama has had many highs and many lows. It's easy to say that Chicago Fire Season 13 is plenty of drama and turmoil, starting with the arrival of Chief Bowden's replacement, Dom Pascal, in the premiere and continuing through Violet Mikami and Sam Carver's will, they romance. Nevertheless, the conclusion features happy endings for a lot of characters. After the man who killed Pascal's wife was attempted to be killed in Chicago Fire Season 13, Episode 21, the chief of Firehouse 51 is placed under investigation in Episode 22. It had to end this way. Pascal appears to be going down for the crime as the evidence against him grows. In other parts of the finale, Carver gives Violet shocking news that transforms her life. Christopher Herman battles his ambition to become a chief, and Kelly Severide and Stella Kid's friendship undergoes a permanent transformation. How Severide proves Pascal isn't guilty of attempted murder, and who actually tried to get revenge for Monica. Another CFD officer tried to kill Robert Franklin. Over the course of the Chicago Fire Season 13 finale, Severide tries his best to clear Pascal's name. The two didn't exactly get off to the best start. Over time, though, Severide has come to appreciate and respect his chief, and vice versa, which is why he rides so hard for Pascal in It Had to End This Way. At first, Severide is confident that someone from Pascal's past, a mob boss named Hendricks whom Pascal attempted to implicate in Miami, is framing him. By the hour's end, we all learn that the answer is much simpler. Severide and Pascal discover Lieutenant Vale is the one who tried to murder Monica's killer in Chicago Fire Season 13. Over time, Vale became obsessed with Monica, although she turned him down. He was almost as heartbroken as Pascal when Monica died. Consequently, Vale wanted revenge. He almost gets away with it too, if it isn't for Pascal discovering texts from Vale to Monica, and if Severide isn't the great arson investigator he is. In the end, Severide proves Pascal is innocent. This strengthens their bond, which has been one of the most interesting developments in Season 13. Carver wants to leave Chicago, but will he? The Chicago Fire Season 13 final ends with Carver and Violet kissing. Weeks before the finale, it was announced that two series regulars would be leaving Chicago Fire after Season 13. Jake Lockett, who plays Carver, and Daniel Keary, who plays Darren Ritter. So many assumed that the finale would properly write out Carver and Ritter. However, that wasn't exactly the case. In Chicago Fire Season 13, Episode 22, Violet finally gives Carver the letter, which details her feelings for him. She wrote to him weeks ago. Unfortunately, it comes a little too late as Carver has already decided to leave Chicago and transfer to the Denver Fire Department. Carver explains to Violet that he feels like he needs a new start to maintain his sobriety. Of course, Violet understands, but she's also visibly heartbroken by the news. Her reaction thrusts Carver into a dilemma. He has strong feelings for Violet too, but he also needs to prioritize his health. By the end of the Chicago Fire Season finale, Carver throws caution to the wind and waits for Violet outside her apartment. Once she arrives, he immediately kisses her and tells her he loves her. Violet reciprocates his declaration, and they kiss happily as the program comes to a close. Even though it makes sense that Jake Lockett's character isn't staying, based on that final moment, it seems like he isn't going anywhere. Character, which would account for Andre Newman, the showrunner of Chicago Fire, being reluctant to confirm or deny if Carver or Ritter would make an appearance in Season 14. Herman's decision not to take the chief's test explained. Herman lets Mouch take Firehouse 51's lieutenant spot. The question of whether Herman takes over Pascal's Firehouse 51 chief spot lingers throughout the Chicago Fire Season 13 finale. If Herman were to take the chief's test and pass, he would probably become the new chief. If not, Pascal would stay, given he wasn't arrested. However, Herman makes the predicament easy for everyone, as many have grown to love Pascal as their chief by not taking the exam. Based on the veteran firefighter's consistent hesitance throughout this latest venture, it doesn't come as too much of a surprise when Herman decides not to go through with the plan. It is shocking, though, when he takes a demotion so that Mouch can take over as Engine 51's lieutenant. Herman loves his friend and wants the best for him, and he's willing to sacrifice his career so that Mouch can get what he wants. Herman isn't meant to sit behind a desk anyway, as he points out at the end of Chicago Fire Season 13, Episode 22. What's next for Severide and Kid after learning she's pregnant? Season 13 ends with Kid telling Severide the big news. Severide and Kid's biggest story in Chicago Fire Season 13 revolves around their desire to start a family. At the beginning, they decided to adopt. Sadly, their adoption of a newborn baby fell through at the last minute when the biological mother changed her mind about keeping her child. Then Severide and Kid take in Natalie, a teenager whose family Kid rescued from a fire a decade ago. Knowing Chicago Fire, Severide and Kid's next journey is sure to come with speed bumps. In the finale, Kid successfully reunites Natalie with her sister Julia, indicating that the couple wouldn't officially adopt the teenager like many theorized they would. While this might have disappointed some viewers who wanted to see Severide and Kid as parents, the episode quickly fixes that heartbreak when Kid shows Severide a positive pregnancy test. Stella Ride are having a baby. This once seemed like a pipe dream, and now fans will get to watch the couple navigate this next stage of their life in Season 14. Knowing Chicago Fire, Severide and Kid's next journey is sure to come with speed bumps. How the Chicago Fire Season 13 final sets up Season 14. Chicago Fire Season 14 will pick up where Season 13 leaves off. The ending of Chicago Fire Season 13 might not be the show's flashiest or most dramatic finale, but it sets up many storylines for Season 14. For starters, Severide and Kid are pregnant, which will undoubtedly play a huge role in the upcoming season. It had to end this way also sets up future Firehouse 51 dynamics with Pascal staying, Herman returning as a regular firefighter, and Mouch becoming Engine 51's lieutenant. Perhaps one of the most significant developments in the finale that will seemingly have an impact on Chicago Fire Season 14 is Violet and Carver's declaration of love. If we didn't know any better, this scene would indicate that Violet and Carver will be in a happy relationship in future episodes. However, Carver is supposedly exiting the show, so when Chicago Fire Season 14 arrives, it'll be interesting to see the aftermath of Violet and Carver's big development. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe my Fast Gossip 24 to our channel and stay with us.